Want to talk some? Come sit down, talk about life. Talk about the universe.
Okay.
Talk about some shit.
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
So, tell me, how was Kuro when he was 15 years old?
Talk to yourself, man. Talk your shit. Okay, tell me, man. Wait. I have a counter question, okay?
Yeah.
How was Bruno? He was
15 years old?
15 years old.
Or were you thinking of another age? Because you can ask any other age.
Well, currently your age is...
I'm 29.
29?
Yeah.
Not 28? Oh, you're 28.
Yeah, well, I got 29 like a couple months ago. So.
Okay, tell me the month.
January.
January. So you're a January child.
I'm a January child. Yeah, it's not as good as a February child, but better than December child.
Yeah, it's okay, you know, January's pretty decent.
Yeah,
decent month.
It has a J in it, so it's like Germany, you know.
J, man, I get it, man.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So
Okay,
yeah,
tell me, man. 15 years old Bruno.
15 years old Bruno. 15 years old Bruno found out he had a superpower.
He did.
Yeah.
What was it?
Could make people fight with each other.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I could like talk to them.
So what you're saying is you went out there to your schoolyard, you found some kids and made them fight each other.
I made them dislike each other.
So you manipulated them.
Yeah. Because I didn't know, like I was really, really good at talking, but I had really
so you
low
manipulated poor innocent children who were like trying to cope with life.
Not
and
even
teenage
not even that. It was even worse. I broke couples.
Okay.
I made them fight.
So you constantly manipulated people, not people, children.
Yes, children, 14, 15-year-old children.
Are you proud of that?
No, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah,
It just
you
worked.
sure you weren't?
I felt like cool, I have a superpower. And I was like, okay, I might be able to use this for good, but all I kept doing was just like making people fight each other.
And you enjoyed that, right?
It was like I got my punishment, I would say.
Yeah, what did you enjoy the process of like making people?
The experiment, it was really good because even though I didn't enjoy like breaking people up or like making people fight each other, the discovery is like, what the fuck am I doing that's making this happen was actually very interesting.
Yeah, and then you felt good about yourself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, felt good.
So you felt superior.
No, never superior.
Never superior.
Never superior.
You never felt you were better than anyone.
When I was 4.
Okay, that doesn't count.
When I was 4, I came back from the first day of kindergarten. I told my mom, my classmates are all idiots because they didn't know stuff that I knew. And I'm like, I don't want to go there. They're all idiots. And my mom said, Bruno, never say that about anyone. You're not better than anyone else. The only reason that you think they're idiots is because you learned some stuff that they didn't learn yet. But they will learn it in the time.
Very wise.
And there's no point calling anyone idiot. And I understood. I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably true.
It's very wise, man.
Yeah, and that's my mom.
Okay, well that's the 4 years old Bruno.
Very wise.
15 years old Bruno, he was...
15 years old Bruno had like really low self-esteem, you know.
Okay.
Like 13, 14-year-old Bruno was like not much of an extrovert. I was like kind of like kept to myself. Really liked this girl, and I wrote her poems. It didn't work that well. I was like kind of in an exploration phase, but couldn't find myself. Didn't have a solid group of people, like friends. But yeah, 15-year-old Bruno was like, holy shit, I can do stuff.
I can do stuff. Okay, Bruno, let's put this straight, man.
Yeah, but how was 15-year-old Kuro?
I'm making the questions.
Are you?
Yeah, you're my slave. You forgot?
Okay, so
you're my slave.
It is like an interrogation, man. You're interrogating.
You're my slave. So my question is, let me think. You're 29 now, 15 years old. You were an asshole. You're 29 now. You're still an asshole.
Am I? You tell me.
But I can't judge, man. I'm really bad at judging. The thing is, you're useful to me because you're my slave right now. So.
Right, see. I can't be your slave and an asshole.
Yeah. See, it's pretty hard.
So take that back. I'm not an asshole.
Yeah, I take it back, man. I'm
cool.
sorry.
Thank you.
So you manipulated me to apologize to you.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, you're such a good talker, man.
I know, man.
It's amazing.
I learned how to do it.
It's amazing.
And I know how to make you fight me or anything.
Okay. Go ahead and ask me a question.
I'll ask you a question. Okay, so okay. Were you like did you hang out with a lot of kids when you were like a kid, like 10, 12, 14, or were you like kept to yourself, play computer games, not going out much?
I was around 10, 11, 12. I had 2 really good friends, 2 best friends. They're still my friends today.
That's good. Shout out to them. They know who they are. No need
One of them is watching the stream right now, actually.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. So
Must be a really cool guy.
Yeah, I know him for more than 10 years. No, I hate him, but fuck it. Like,
yeah,
he lives next...
that's how friends work.
I know. It sucks.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had 2 friends which I like to hang out with. Because, you know, it's pretty hard to hang out with a lot of different kind of people.
Right.
Children. Fucking kids, man.
Fucking kids.
So, either, like, I went to school with them, and we did all school stuff, you know, hang out a bit, and then I went home and played Dota.
Right.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Every day.
Right.
It was the best days of my life.
Do you remember how you like started playing Dota? Was it one of your friends that said, "Hey, let's try these"?
Well, out of the 2 childhood friends I was just speaking, one guy, he had Warcraft 3,
right.
And it was the Polish version of Warcraft 3.
Okay.
And he had it. I was 10 years old, 11, around that age. So I saw this game, it was fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
Fucking was a Blade Master, Tower Chief there with the wave. Yeah. So I was like, this game I need it, so I installed this game. I had no internet back then. Back then, you know, there was like shitty internet or no internet, where you couldn't like phone and go internet at the same time. Problematic times.
Yeah.
So at some point I got internet, and at that point I also got the German version of Warcraft 3, which was a huge achievement. My brother and I played a lot of Warcraft. And when you went to the custom lobby, there was always Dota around. Right. Always. There was like so many Dota games. And we were playing some Angel Arena and I don't know, like Footman Frenzy a bit. Like all these other maps. Right. Mega Man TVs. Maps, Dragon Ball, Tribute.
Oh, that was good.
Very old map. Very good maps actually. Maps they're timeless kind of games because you can still play them and enjoy them a lot.
Yeah.
So he joined Dota. I was like, fuck this Dota, man. I always
joined Dota? He's black, man.
Okay.
He's totally paying you?
That was totally my plan.
His mom paying you?
Fucking jeweled me out. Anyway, he joined the which version was it? 5.84B.
5.84B, yeah. That was the one that took like 5 minutes to load.
Yeah, even more sometimes. It was like 10 minutes. And then some dude disconnected right away in the game. So it was a tough one. It was the hard times, but I still went through them because I like this game so much. So the first hero I picked, I wanted to pick Crystal Maiden because I saw on my brother play Dota, he played Crystal Maiden. He was the best hero ever. Yeah. Frostbite, and when he hit this
like this cylinder
shit. And like you never saw this walk. I was like, fucking crazy, man. This look was so weak ass. It looked so strong. Cool. So someone picked Crystal Maiden first, and what happened in the old Dota was there were taverns with the hero. Yes. And when someone picked the hero, it just everything moved. Everything moved. So you clicked and it super lagged. And then I fucking had like Zeus or Lina, I can't remember. I was like, fuck this hero. I left the game instantly.
Oh, you rage quit.
First Dota game, rage quit. Okay, joined the next game, try to get Crystal Maiden again. I didn't get her again. This time I picked Lina. Okay. And I stuck with Lina for 50 games or something.
Wow. Yeah. But don't land strike a race. You could land them by
like first I had to learn the game. Like I picked Lina and I went to bottom lane always. I don't know why. But anyway, what I did is you stay on base, right? This is the bottom lane. So I right clicked on bottom lane. What your hero does, he's gonna go through the trees to the pull camp which we have today. And there were satyrs. And you know what these satyrs did? These motherfuckers? They mana burned me. No, they mana burned me. They mana burned me. Before the game even started, they didn't realize it for the first 20 or 30 games. They just mana burned me. I was like, fucking shit, man. Fuck this game. But I was like, it's part of the game, right? Yeah. So my item build consisted of 6 void stones. The first 20, 30 games. I got raped every time, but
it happens.
It happens, But it was still fun because I clicked Laguna Blade, which had 3 minutes cooldown. Yeah. So then I saw one Centaur. I will never forget this Centaur. He was the craziest player ever. His item build, power threats
Yes.
and 5 ogre axes. He was unkillable. He was one unkillable bitch. I had my Lina, right? The central comes with 5 ogre axes. He was unkillable, man.
Yeah.
He just killed everyone on my team. And he got every kill because with double edge, you just get every kill, right? He was like godlike and shit. There were no assists, remember?
No.
Only kills
only
and
kills. You had
kills and deaths, man. You know, the dude with the kills, he's the boss in the game.
Yeah, of course, because you don't get gold out of
Yeah,
it.
fucking 5 ogre axes and hit me once, hit me twice, I die. I didn't know what to do, so I copied his item build, man. It was a very shameful move, but you need to copy to learn.
And sometimes you need to get on the other people's
but I
shoes.
chose another strength hero. I chose DK. Because I like DK. He was a cool guy. I saw one
the dragon.
because I think I was in the same game on some other game. I don't know. Some dude played Dragon Knight. It was just cool, man. Dragon Knight. So I played Dragon Knight. Went 5 ogre axes, power threats. They did decently well. The funny thing is, soon after that, I've already.
But this time, did you know that you could like combine items with recipes? Not yet.
No, I had ogre axes. Man, the recipes, they were like, you click on them, you don't understand.
Yeah, like they were all recipes.
I could only copy things. I saw one guy doing power threats, how he did it, and then I could do it. Like,
right.
That's the only thing I could do. I didn't know anything. And but after like 2 months, I started to understand the game. One guy picked Brute Mother and he raped everyone. And I picked Brute Mother, was my favorite hero. It was Brute Mother. You go on web, you know, you kill any. There were no TPs, mind you.
Right.
There were no TPs. So at some point, I found the ultimate hero at that time. It was Venomancer, actually.
Really?
And I won every game with Venomancer. I'm not lying. And Venomancer was the best hero. I got Mask of Madness. I got my power threats. I already understood the game, right? I got Mask of Madness, power threats, and I don't know what else I got. So what you do is you didn't even get it. You shadow strike your opponent on the click, and then you start hitting him with Poison Sting, which was the best spell ever, actually. And then I clicked ulti. Anyone who came died. People say Ricky was pretty strong, or he was shit to my Venomancer. And he started hitting me with Poison 1, Poison 2, and he's dead. Every time he died. I died probably too.
Yeah, but
fuck it, man. I killed him. Every time I killed him.
That's all that matters.
This is when I understood what Dota is about, man.
Yeah.
Venomancer. He's the hero.
He's pretty good.
TI4, Venomancer.
Carry Venomancer.
Yeah.
People are there.
Whatever, man.
What's he does? What?
Yeah. Sometimes he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
So yeah, works every position. Fata plays it mid.
He does?
Yeah, he does. Rarely, super rarely.
He prefers some Viper or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But you play some. Who plays it? Like if you're copy. Venomancer. If you pick Venom.
We both play it. Recently I played it when we picked it, but he used to play it. He used to play it more when there was the more farmish kind of support. It was some month ago, but now it changed.
Cool. So yeah, that was the beginnings of Dota.
That was the beginnings of Dota. Then one day, what happened? One day, the Blizzard patch came out, and the Dota was bugged.
Yeah.
And then Dota was bugged. Omnislash had no cooldown.
Yeah.
I remember that. So the game was unplayable. It was horrible. Then one guy came out. He was called True Russian. That was his nickname, and he made the new Dota.
Yeah.
Now, this dude was a genius, actually. I know it because I've been in this time, and anyone who's been in this time knows that the current Dota, a lot of influence came from this True Rust guy.
Yeah.
Spectator came from him.
Yeah.
Some other things came from him. Sadly, he never got his credits, you know.
That's true.
So,
like people remember Winsu and the nice.
So 10 years later, I will give you credits. True Rust, man. You're
True
the
Rust.
man. He saved Dota, man. He made this new. He made 5.8 for C.
That was.
So everyone could play Dota.
It was
again.
much faster to load as well.
It was so fast. It was the most amazing thing. It was revolutionary. He made this map and he compromised the map somehow, so it was like, you know, didn't eat so much. And it was super fast. Everyone was like, this is awesome. This is it, man. This is it. This is what we want.
Yeah.
And then we played this Dota game. Then some point 6.0 came out. Like Ice Rock took over at that point.
Yeah, but people weren't playing the 6.0. People were still
exactly. I was playing 5.8 for 3 because it was much better.
Yeah.
Because everyone thought Ice Rock ruined the game.
Right.
Everyone thought it was the shitty. There was truth in there because the game was really bad. At that point.
There were lots of
things. It was super bugged and a lot of new heroes. The map layout changed.
Yeah.
Like the Dota 8.4 was winter layout.
Yeah.
And the new one was like greenish.
Yeah,
it was greenish nature layout. Nobody liked it. But from 6.10, I think, the game became really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like then Ice Rock did so much good things for Dota. he like balanced the heroes really nicely. He like upgraded everything, made everything nicer. That was good times. I remember. I played Dota through that every version. I remember that. I quit Dota at some point. It was like 6.27 is when I quit.
It was pretty much when Alchemist came, to give people some idea.
I know if it's Alchemist. I know that at that point there was a lot of through the 6.0 to 6.30 there was so much reworks on Senki.
Yeah.
They kept
because it didn't work. Like remember 584V if you picked it on Radiant.
The burrow you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work, but Senki was one of my best heroes too. Yeah, you impale one and then you epicenter and nobody goes away because of delay and you just shift click and nobody knows shift click because they're all retards and shit, but I understood shift click. So it was 100% kill rate. You know, there were no bracers, there were no power thread strength, there were no magic sticks, no tone portals. Best Dota, man. Best Dota. You go in and you kill everything. But sadly, that old times, man. Times changing.
You know what? I wish when the custom maps came out that we can play like certain versions of old Dota just for fun, not competitive. But
there's so much potential in custom maps, you know. Yeah. What they can do is they can make some Dota map and cross it with all other like League of Legends and HON and like put all heroes on one map, and I think people are gonna play this game.
I think people are gonna. And like maybe from there comes the next great game.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
You know, you spawn fucking the next Dota, man. Dotaception. Dotaception. There we have it.
And we have to make also the Warcraft 4 campaign.
Oh yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be
crazy, man. I would play that.
I would totally play that.
If it's well done. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I really I have to confess, I like Warcraft 3 more than StarCraft.
Yeah, so do I. I search to confess. Yeah. I grew up with Warcraft, so it's very skewed view anyway.
I like the idea of having a hero. It was like so good.
Very good.
When StarCraft 2 came and they like no heroes in StarCraft 2, I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
I understand why they did it because balance and they wanted to keep it more close to Brood War, but I was like, no, Warcraft 3 hero getting like.
Well, everyone wanted Warcraft 4 actually, but
WoW made lots of money, lots and lots of money,
and WoW I think killed the Warcraft story too. So they couldn't really ever continue the story. It was problematic. It was quite problematic.
So, Bucapella loves you, apparently.
I can't read so well from you.
It's just like someone. People are. If you see hearts, they're loving you.
That's very good, man.
Yeah,
thanks.
Good to feel loved. But yeah. So, and when did you? How did you come into playing competitively?
Well, around the time I went inactive was when Dota actually first got competitive. It was 6.28 version, and there was the very first. Like there were tournaments before, but nobody really knew anything. But when people got together actually and tried to organize stuff, it was 6.28, and the meta was sniper against lich mid, or silencer against lich, or silencer against sniper. No, it wasn't. It was silencer or sniper against lich.
Yeah.
Because it was radiant versus dire.
Yeah, so you could only choose.
You could only choose on your side the heroes, which is actually a pretty cool system.
Look at all those sides. Sorry.
So it was only Sentinel versus Scourge. The idea was really nice actually.
That you could have, but it was so hard to balance as well.
It's impossible to balance. It was very easy. Like the game starts and people are like, "You're gonna take these 5 heroes and you're gonna take these 5 heroes." And what's funny is that Ice Rock did this. He changed some heroes all the time. Like Enigma went to Radiant, and then he went to Scourge and Sentinel full versions. And like one team's like, "Yeah, we take Enigma on this side," and then it was on the other side. But anyway, that time I went to play World of Warcraft actually. I was 13 years old at that time.
Was it vanilla? Wow, or was it?
Yeah, it was the original World of Warcraft. Yeah. I played it because I still like Warcraft 3 more than Dota. Like I like the storyline of Warcraft so much.
Really
but the game sucked ass, you know.
Yeah.
Like maybe the game was good for many people, but I could never get into it because I need to play against someone. In World of Warcraft I played against no one. I played against bots.
Crips and bots,
And it bored me. Like I tried, I'm serious, man. I tried to like the game so much because I like the idea, like it's a massive world and you know people get together and play. And it was like PvP. It was all about PvP. It's like every day my brother played World of Warcraft. every time I was asking him stuff like, yo, like, can you go there and kill someone with your mage and rogue? He's like, yeah, open PvP, it's a thing, man. You go there and do this. And it's like only 2 dudes have this mount. It's really cool. And I'm like, you know, he's like, yes, it's the best. I'm gonna be the best in this game. I want to be the best in World of Warcraft. I thought. And I played my mage game, and then like I played mage, and like all I did was like I took a lot of creeps, got them together, and then I did Blizzard, and it slowed them when you skilled it and shit like that. And I was like, this game fucking sucks. I'm gonna go back to Dota, man. So I went back to Dota, and when I went back to Dota, one of my friends, he's called Chill. He's a German dude. He's still playing Dota 2 now. I asked him, so, like, yo, what's up? The first thing we did is, like, we played some fun maps, 1v1, some sniper fun maps. You know, like these sniper fun maps. Yeah. When you play some sniper and you just shoot him once and you win the game. Yeah. There were some really cool items. There were different kind of maps. Custom map potential is too crazy, actually. It's too crazy. I think about it. But anyway, at some point I was like, yo, let me join your team. And he's like, fuck you. And I'm like, fuck you. And then I joined his team. And it was called World Eaters. Okay. World Eaters. Not many people remember this team, I think. This team was actually not the most successful German team, given that we had Mouse now. It was the most successful Dota 1 German team. And I joined World Eaters we were like 5 guys, and we had so much fun together. Like after we were all young. Like I was the youngest, obviously. I was 13. They were already like 16, 17, 18, like around this age. One dude was 20. And after school, we went to TeamSpeak right away and started chatting, like, you know, having fun. Everyone told stories from school. Then we played Dota together, and we won a lot of good teams. We won Dota League season 6, I think. We won against MYM. And I remember this game. I was so sad. The first game I played against MYM, I played Tinker solo mid, and I destroyed them. I destroyed this Merlini dude mid, and everyone was hyping Merlini. And I liked Merlini too because he was a great player. Yeah, he was such a great player. And I
watched his video already.
I watched the Zeus video. No, the Zeus video. It happened later. It didn't even happen that time. Merlini was very new, and he joined MYM. It was great. Like I watched this replay, and I was like, yeah, I can play Merlini, you know. And it's like I stomped him. I was like, "This is Merlini," but it's like obviously he was. I didn't know that he had ping issues and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But you know, the replay got saved after 5 minutes, and then we had to load. So there was never a replay of me
winning the lane.
How I stomped Merlini.
You were playing solo mid?
Yeah, I played solo mid that time. I wanted to play solo mid. Like first when I joined the team, I played support. We were 6 guys in the team actually at that point. We had one dude who was solo mid, and we couldn't really cope with this guy because he always farmed the mid. The old meta was like Midas Boost of Travel, and when I played solo mid, I was never in this Midas meta game because I was playing World of Warcraft when people were doing this. Yeah. So I never got into that. When I went mid, I got my items and I ganked left and right. People who watched Dota 1, years later when I joined Mouse, know my playstyle, how I played my solo mid. I was the most aggressive player. And anyway, so this dude, we had problems, so I played solo mid. Played this Dota League game. First game we won. Second game we really played Tinker, and he stomped us that game. So whatever, right? But we only need to win one game out of this best of 2 to win the whole league. So we won this league. That was pretty cool. Yeah. And I was really happy back then. It was a really great feeling. We didn't win anything. That shit. Like you win some tournament, you feel good. You feel good about yourself. You feel good with your team. Yeah. So then we played some more. We played against teams like Team. It was Loda's and Akke's old team. Loda, Akke, Bogdan. I think they didn't have Tompa back then. And Halo Tompa came later with SK. Quam, they had Quam as well. And one more dude. Snow came later too, I think. Can't remember. Anyway, it's like they were like 7-8 Swedes, and like at some point they were there. So I played against Loda and stuff. It was very fun. So like, you know, when I went to tier 3 and we went to the finals, like, you know, Loda came to me and we talked like, yo, we played fucking 8 years ago this tournament in the finals, and now we're gonna play TI3 finals.
That's so cool.
So we fucking did it, man, you know. Yeah. But whatever. then our team disbanded World Eaters because people went their ways. They stopped playing. Like we didn't disband because of problems. Of course, we were starting playing worse and worse, but the reason was like people are young. One dude's like having his girlfriend, and his girlfriend hates him playing Dota. Was one problem. The other dude is like, I need to focus on school.
And also, it was much smaller. It was not like you win a tournament, you get $90,000.
Yeah, of course, there was only the fun aspect, right? But you have to prioritize real life.
Yeah.
I had no problems. I was the youngest, so I had the least problems out of my teammates, obviously, because my only duty is to go to school, and that's fucking it. So and the other dude, Chill, I was talking about, he went to play World of Warcraft, so he also quit. They all quit Dota, actually. I was the only guy who didn't quit Dota. They all came back some years ago. I still have contact with them, actually. So it's quite funny. Anyway, then during that period, I just played Dota. I played in-house leagues. I didn't really join any team. I didn't really join any team, I think. I can't remember so well that period. I was 14. I was 14 at that time. I just played in-house leagues, yeah. And then when I was 15 years old, I created some German in-house league. Because I wanted to play with Germans, and like I was some admin. Like I went to some forums, like, hey guys, let's do this, and people were like, yeah, okay, IRC, we had everything went through IRC back then. So we went there and made this in-house league, and one dude was there. He was called Blood Guy. He was always playing there, and I always stomped him. So one day he messaged me, yo, you want to join my team? I'm like, no. Like, why? And he's like, yo. Then I got to know him, right? And after some month, he was like asking me again, want to join this team? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I joined this mouse team. This is where you could say my competitive career started with World Eaters, but I think most people remember what started with mouse, if anyone remembers that.
Yeah, of course.
It's been some time, actually. It's been 7 years nearly. But yeah.
We do remember. And yeah. And soon after than that,
well, everything else is on the internet, I think.
Yeah, I know. And that's where people started calling you the best player in the world.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
Okay, God.
I don't like that title.
It's it's a bit strong.
It's too strong.
It's
like maybe I was very good, but I don't want to be called about it. It's not good for me.
Yeah. When did you find out about the Chinese scene? Like,
well, one of the reasons why I was successful is that I think I was the only guy who respected the Chinese teams. Because at that time there was no connection between Europeans and Chinese.
Of course,
no,
it was impossible to play.
Impossible. There was no connection whatsoever, and people were very cocky back then. Like everyone was young and flamish and cocky, and so what I did is I watched XCN, the Indonesian team, and they played crazy stuff. There was. Like they played heroes like Broodmother, which nobody played in Europe. They played DK and got Battle Fury on him, we were like, this is fucking stupid, man. What was fucking genius? Because he went on the lane, he got this ring of health, and you couldn't kill him anymore.
Yeah.
Like with Europeans, we put Warlock solo mid, and he beats every hero, right? And then comes DK with his armor and ring of health, and it's like you hit him and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Nothing happens, and then he gets his ulti up and stuff. He starts being the DK. So his poison thing worked on towers back then.
Yes. It was only level 1.
Yeah, only, and you never skilled the dragon up.
No.
And it's like, it was crazy. I watched this, I was like, dude, man, these people, they're genius. They played Visage. Nobody played fucking Visage, man.
They all Visage with the little birds.
The little birds, nobody played it in Europe.
They were like free words.
Nobody played it, and they constantly played it. So I started actually copying Asians all the time. I watched them. I watched XCN was my favorite team because they had the craziest team play ever. They went to one tournament in 2008. They went there as Fnatic. Fnatic picked them up, actually. They picked up XCN. And it was 2008, they went there. It was called Colorful Games something. MGC or something the tournament was called. Puppy actually played in the tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was there in China. He played with 2009. And Guns, Horon, Russian guy. Guns was the British guy, old school guy. Horon, Russian guy, and Julie. Julie was the captain of Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
and they played there. They got 2009 because some dude couldn't play for them, and he was like standing in.
Pretty good standing.
Yeah. So they got to know each other, and XCN was there as Fnatic, and the first game they lost, and then they were in the loser bracket, and they played in the loser bracket against EHOME, and it was the new EHOME. Before that, EHOME was consisting of DC, who's now a caster.
Yes.
He was back then. That was the last time he played before the tournament, and he was so good. He was like supports in Europe were players who couldn't. They
weren't good enough.
They were shitty players, to be honest.
Right.
It's like they were players. They were friends in your team. That's it. And they were playing support because they are bad.
Yeah.
Actually, that's why they're playing support, because all the good players played the fucking crazy roles, mid and carry.
Yeah.
So, but these agents, they didn't have this system. Their support players were actually very good players too.
Yeah.
So this is what you learn from them. And DC was one crazy dude. He did so much crazy stuff in Dota. He invented the Weaver thing with the shades, where you can TP on with Tinker. When he played Coddle, he hit every fucking blast. You know, you watch him and he was too good. So I was so inspired by this guy back then. But anyway, they changed. He went inactive, and one more dude went inactive, and 357 came into the team, and 820 came into the team.
Yeah.
And that was the first time 820 played, and they lost right away to Fnatic in the loser bracket. Like they were new EHOME, they were pretty bad.
It was like 2009.
Yeah, and I was watching, I was like, man, fuck this guy. Why do they do this? Why do they play so bad? Oh, they also played with Snoy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think Snoy played in EHOME. Snoy was the oldest Chinese legend there is, probably. So this Fnatic, they went to loser bracket, and what they did is they won the tournament through the loser bracket, and this is so fascinating. If you win the tournament through the loser bracket from the very beginning, because especially in the old times, because moral is just gonna hit you, and your team is gonna be worse.
That's true.
You feel, and you have only one game. If you lose this single game, you're out of the tournament. And every game they played for their lives. You could see it. They were 80 minutes games. They won so many 80 minutes games. I can't even count on my hands how many games they won after 60 minutes, and they were the worst early game team in the world. Seriously, they were losing every time, all lanes. Their lanes, Visage Sand King went bottom, and they just kept feeding, you know, and shit like that. But it didn't matter to them. And then they had Luna Lich top and stuff like this, and it still worked for them because they were a crazy team. They went together, and they won every game and every team through team play. You could actually see actual team play from that. So yeah. This team, fascinating.
Yeah.
Then after that was 1 year later, it was FTD, was 2009's team for the Dream. They won SMM, and it was the first time you saw Coddle PL like constantly, because Europeans didn't really grasp the concept of PL, but Asians already did, because they were so farm heavy in their game.
Yeah.
We always played very gankish style.
Very aggressive, yeah.
Yeah, but they played very farm heavy style, and the truth is that the farm heavy style in Dota prevails no matter what.
Yeah.
Even nowadays it's hard to say, but generally it's easier to play defensive.
Yeah.
Like and just, you know, play aggressive at certain parts of the game, but always the whole game plan is about just chill and get your carry fed. Like, I mean, this is how Alliance won TA3.
Yeah,
very simplified version is saying like they chilled and took only the right timings to fight, and they chilled, and every enemy had a clock over their head because they had double milers and just did it. Because it's a very strong style of Dota, and it was so hard to play against. It still is hard to play against. So, yeah.
Yeah. For people who weren't watching back then, which most of them, was Patch picked in the European scene much?
Well, I played him in KSINT quite a lot of times. I remember that. I played him. Who else played him? Before that, Vigos played him in Woods Pro. Yeah, it's the only.
Yeah,
I only remember Vigos.
Yeah.
Vigos,
what a legend.
Yeah.
Then he goes to Dota 2 and gets lost in Ukraine.
He's a crazy dude.
He's a crazy dude, but fun. So yeah, that was pretty much a walk through our Dota 1 history.
I mean, it's no point to talk because we could talk for like 10 more hours.
I know, yeah, it's so
I
much.
can tell you a lot of funny stuff, what I saw in SMM, for example.
What happened?
You know how Dota was back then? It was cruel. Like, there was one team, it was called City Hunters, and Long DD was part of this team. And some other Chinese guys, I can't remember, but they're still present in the nowadays scene. So they played one game, loser bracket, and I was behind them, and I was just watching them, right? And SMM was the worst tournament I played in my life. It was so bad. Like, computers were crashing left and right and stuff like this. I hated this tournament so much. So they were playing this game, and they were winning, and then Long DD's PC blue screened, right? There was no save. So, you know, fuck you, Long DD, man. Lost the game because his computer went blue screen. There was nothing, no remake, no nothing. They were winning the game, and then he got blue screened, and they were winning hard actually. You know, but then they lost the game.
So they had to play 4v5.
Yeah, they play 4v5, and you can't win 4v5.
No,
you can't win 4v5. So that was one funny thing. The other thing was there was one. The most epic game was on SMM was FTD versus King Surf. The King Surf consisted of Yamate and Chuan.
Yes.
And FTD was ZSMJ 2009 GX. No, GX joined later, I think. GX. Oh, it's too long ago, but I can't remember it. I just need to chill my mind.
It's alright.
2009 was mid. ZSMJ was carry. GX played Earthshaker that game. Who were the two other guys? The other dude was called similar. Man, fuck these names, man. They all called 820,
yeah,
29,
either numbers
357, GXGS, you know. But anyway.
Yeah.
They played against each other. It was loser bracket best of one, and King Surf was winning this game so hard. And the reason why they won is because
was X playing back then?
Huh?
X, was he playing? MMI.
Yeah, he played for EHOME.
Yeah, he played for, that's right. Yeah,
he played for EHOME.
Yeah, that's right.
He was called XWKXXX, something like that. He played for EHOME, and they got third place in that tournament. And anyway, FTD was playing against King Surf, and King Surf was a very famous team. They were very good, and they reformed with Chuan, and they took 4 or 5 Rexes. I can't remember. I think they took 5 barracks out of FTD. They took 5 fucking Rexes, and the reason is FTD had PL, and he sent the courier to the secret shop and bought the relic. Beastmaster came, ulted the courier, killed the relic. What happened? Relic dropped, destroyed the relic, you know, or even take it off. I don't know.
Yeah, he destroys it.
He destroys it, and you know,
and
you lost your relic with PL, and it's like, you know what? This loser bracket last game, and it's like game is over. Like, you know, nowadays game is over, right?
Yeah.
But at Kings of, they still lost the game. You know, they still lost the game because they played so cocky.
Yeah, and SMJ found a new relic.
He found a new relic, and
it's like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, they still lost the game because they started, you know, Chuan played as Sven, and he was really good. Like, he killed everyone, but he got so cocky. He run into fountain and kill people. Yamati run into fountain and kill people, and then they lost the game. I don't even, you know, I look at their faces, and they were just like, you know, they were just like, fuck this world, man.
Yeah.
And then this very same team went to win the tournament. So they in the final they played against CD, Comdir, and there was the team of Zhao. Zhao, Sunshine. Okay, I can't remember the other guys. It was these 2 guys for sure. And they played, and they were really good. Like, Zhao was always the man in Dota. He won so much with any team he's been part of. He was the craziest carry player. When everyone was afraid of Zhao. He was just good. He was just a good guy to have in the team, because every team he's been part of has been a successful team. Yeah. He's been on every loading screen in Dota 1 because he constantly won tournaments. But they lost to 2009 because he was a true genius, this guy.
What did he do? Why was he a genius?
Because he drafted like no other guy.
Oh, I see.
He led the team like no other guy, and he was solo mid-player captain, which we actually don't have nowadays.
Right.
And he was a solo mid-player captain. So they did some crazy stuff. And, well, the rest of the story is they won the tournament, blah blah blah. They disbanded at some point. Then EHOME kept playing. 820 was the counterpart of 2009, and 2009 decided to quit like they went on playing and they were winning left and right for 6 more months.
Yeah.
And then in June, I think it was in June, there was ESWC qualifier 2010, EHOME against EGD. They got picked up by EGD, and they lost to EHOME. And 2009 was crushed because he really wanted to go to ESWC. ESWC was so important for everyone back then, especially for Chinese, I think.
Yeah.
Because they were like so hyped about going there and winning it for China.
Yeah.
But they lost to EHOME, and EHOME went there. 2009 quit the game. EHOME went on, won this tournament, and then the EHOME era started, right?
Yeah.
They won everything, tuck, till 2011. Then there was DK.
Yeah.
DK came, Burning, tuck. ROTK played so good, Burning played so good. Then International came, and blah blah blah.
There was Panda as well at the end of 2011. Team Panda was the other Chinese team.
They didn't play much, I think.
Yeah, there was just like when Dota 2
there were a lot of there. Tai Lu was there at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
But they all disappeared, kind of. So
Neolution was there as well. Yeah, there were lots of teams.
Yeah,
good memories. Yeah, so you traveled a lot in Dota 1 as well.
Yeah.
So you went to China.
No, I went to Malaysia.
You went to Malaysia.
I didn't go to China in Dota 1 times.
So the first time you went to China was last year with the Alien World Cup time?
No, I went before because I qualified in WCG with my German mix.
Oh, right.
That was how I met Feta and Paz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was through that event.
That's funny.
Yeah. I went to Kunshan, nice city.
Was it?
Well, if you like China.
I guess. Yeah, I haven't been there yet. So.
Oh, well. It's nice.
It's
nice cities. Shanghai is nice. Kinda.
I will go someday. Someday. What were your parents like? Like, you were very young, you were traveling around, like, for the game.
Well, they obviously didn't like it. So, that's all I can say. They didn't like it. They really didn't like it. They didn't like to see me travel because I was too young. They didn't like to see me play Dota.
Did you travel alone, like with your team?
Dota 1?
Yeah.
Not so much. Maybe like 3... I don't know. Like,
no, but I'm saying, like, were you like with your team, or was someone with your from your family with you when you traveled?
No, I was alone.
You were alone?
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring my... Yo, Dad, you wanna go to DreamHack? You know, go to DreamHack, and you go to DreamHack, and the streets are like, hello, and everything smells like pizza and shit, right? He's gonna get a heart attack. Like, poor Dad, man. You know, I can't do this to him. I can't do this to him. I can't even do this to myself anymore. Yeah. Anyway.
There's a particular smell at DreamHack.
Yeah. Oh, so I went alone. They didn't like it, obviously. Like, if my kid would play, I would also tell him to shut the fuck up and go learn, you know?
Yeah.
Like every rational parent should do, I think. But what kids do is they do what they want.
Yeah.
Right? And I did what I want. Trusted my instincts. Kept playing Dota because I believed in it. I believed in myself, which was the most important thing.
Yeah. Well, it turned out pretty okay, I would say.
Yeah, it's decent.
I want to go back to a point that you said before. You were talking like 2009 was me being a captain, which was something very rare. You played pretty much every position in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you played carry, you played mid, you
I
played
played
support,
everything.
you played everything. And you're always also a captain for most of this time. I mean, you were a captain of...
Well, kind of. Well, I always try to integrate myself.
I see you as a guy that talks quite a lot in game.
Not necessarily. I like to talk a lot before and after the game. In the game, it always depends on the mood of the team.
Right.
With my old teams, I talk much more than with Navi. Like in Navi, I still talk. Like last year, I talked much more. This year, I talk less, which also annoys myself. But
yeah, well, I mean, things that we work out by ourselves. But like, would you say it's much easier to be a captain if you're like direct, not being a captain, like just like direct the team if you're playing in a support role, even right now?
You mean it's easier to be captain as support?
Yes.
In all honesty, I don't think it matters. The truth is that the team, it's good to have a captain, but in a true team, you don't rely on any captain. because everyone should know things he has to do, should know his role, and you don't understand how much of a team game Dota is actually. Dota is a pure team game. Everything goes through the team. Dota is like every move you do, like every move has some effect throughout the game all the time. That's why some people call it like new time chess, whatever. They also support this idea. Like this Dota game has a crazy team complex, and you don't actually need one dude who's gonna tell you all the best teams in the world. Do you think DK has one captain who's actually commanding them left and right? They don't. There are 5 individually crazy strong players who trust each other, and that's all you need. You don't need one dude who like gives you directions. It's good to have to declare like 2 guys who will give some directions, because there needs to be some directions. But these directions, when they're given, probably all these 5 guys already know what to do anyway. And this is when you create the best kind of team. And this is what you can see it when teams, they move very smooth. Like Alliance last year, you could see how smooth they played. Everything seemed so calculated because everyone knew what to do. It was very smooth. It went through. Like IG 2012, same thing. At some point, everything was very natural. It looked like you saw them play and everything. They just knew what to do because it worked for them, and they won every game because of that. This is how the best teams are. And captain is always the thing I don't like to like see or like credit or anything, you know. Depends on the team though. Like I know that Navi, for example, that Puppy as captain is very important. Actually, because you know Russians, they need a captain, man.
Yes,
the Russians, they like their captains and shit. Like history has shown us. That's what Russians like.
It's actually true.
It's actually true.
Yeah,
and I'm not kidding. This is how it works. And
well, I mean, in comparison, for example, like you say that you see some Russian teams. Not gonna point fingers, but some Russian teams that don't really have a proper captain, and they're like playing their own game.
Yeah, I mean, you see that the only Russian team that had success, besides Empire, all these years was Navi. Actually, they're not even Russians, right? They're Ukrainians.
No, they're Ukrainians, and one Estonian.
But the guy who led them was an Estonian, and who's actually a Russian. You know? So, and then like all these Russians are very skilled Dota players, but they never really could find the way to make their team work because of many problems which come together. Any problems. But now we see Empire, they pulled through, and I don't know who's actually the real captain of Empire, but I think they communicate through the team as well. Yeah. Because that's how they play. Yeah. And you can see it. It's very successful. It works long term. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about Empire. Like they kind of feel like Alliance last year. That like Alliance last year, they maybe like Bulldog was a little bit higher than everyone else. Like in the way that he got away with so much. But everyone was like kind of on the same level. Like when you think Navi, you always think Dandy, right? And then like just because of popularity, not because like saying that.
No, I get it.
And then you think of like some other teams, and there's always like 1 or 2 names that stand up. And Alliance felt like this team where everyone was like very equally good. Like you had some games where Loda played really well, some games where EGM played really well, but there were no like, oh, these guys consistently better or favorite than each other. And Empire feels a little bit like that as well, if you think about it, because like all of the players are really good, like really good. I really like their supports, like the support movement from them. It's something that I particularly like. Mag in the offlane most of the time gets away with a lot of things. Resolution in mid, like he grew up so much as a player. Like if you think about him.
He's always been really good. He just never had a team. It was like when I saw him in IC Cup.
Yeah, that's what
I already knew this dude is gonna do it. He just needs some team, like anyone. He was 16 years old and he did it, you know. Yeah. It reminded me of myself a little bit. I was 16 years old and I joined some team and I couldn't do something. But I had luckier times because that time it was easier to be some one-man army dude.
Yeah.
Nowadays you can't do it.
Yeah, not anymore.
So now Alliance, the thing about Alliance was last year's, they had some player ideas which were just too next level. Like the way Bulldog played Spirit. Lone Root with the Spirit there, what he did with the creeps.
Yeah,
it was total abuse actually. He abused the map too much. And Alliance was one of the first teams that actually abused the map to the maximum. They stacked the stacking thing and stuff. It's not what Dota players do. It was Horn ideas which they brought into the game. So these horn ideas, they translated it into Dota 2 and it worked so good for them. So they could outsmart everyone.
Yeah.
And so they had these next level plays on Lone Root and Prophet as well, like because Bullock plays best Prophet ever. Like there's never been better Nature's Prophet, and there will never be, because the time is over now for that.
Yeah.
There will never be better, because he just played this hero too good and worked too well with his team. I can't even count 5 games which they lost with this hero right now. So Empire is different nowadays. Empire's just a very strong team, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just the team play is good. Support rotations are very good. Like when Squadron always wanna fly, they're never clueless on the map.
Yeah.
Never clueless. Resolution just plays his good solo mid. Mark plays his good off lane, and Silent plays good carry. So it's very solid foundation of the team. It just works. Some games they lose, some games they win.
Yeah, of course.
Depends on draft a lot of
Everyone,
times,
yeah.
like everyone in the end. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there any of, like, you normally play support, and let's say you go on a tri-lane with Puppy, or like dual lane and Puppy goes jungle. If you go defensive, you're normally facing an offlaner in your lane. Sometimes not, but like at least 50% of the time you find an offlaner. Is there any guy, like, let's talk nice about some people, like, is there any offlaner that you say like, oh shit, this guy, like every time I have to play against this guy, it's like such a headache because he gets away with so
nowadays,
much. Yeah.
Nowadays, I don't have this feeling. There's some offlaners that are easier to play against, but I won't say the name.
Let's not name those. Yeah.
And there's some offlanes which are a bit harder to play against, but the only offlaner which was really hard to play against was last year Bulldog, when he had Prophet or Lone Root, because with the creep pulls, there was nothing you could do.
You could do
just nothing. That was the only hard times. After that, things stopped. There was never really the hard times of an offlaner shining too much.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot. I asked you this question, and I asked the same to Pilot Guy and to Notail on Fly. They all say different. Like they said, the hardest for me to play, I think Notail said Bone 7, I think, and Pilot Guy said Funny. And Notail said, well, we don't normally like. It's like it's very different for each team. It's not like normally there's a guy that's strong for everyone. Yeah. It's just like some teams.
But it always depends on the styles. Yeah. If you like take Notail and Fly style and you break it apart in pieces and you see how they play and how they move, naturally you will realize what player will be good against it.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, but I can't talk about it because it's gonna put me in a bad position.
Yeah. No, of course.
Since there's a huge tournament coming up.
That's right.
Which I try to win.
How do you feel about TI4?
What is there to feel about, man?
Okay. I'm just like, well, I think lots of people are cheering for you and wishing you the best, and that's what matters.
It matters a lot, actually. But
and I mean, like every team, probably there's work to do. There's work to do. Yeah. Like every team, of course. No one is like, oh, I'm ready for TI4.
I think nobody will feel ready, even if they get there, because there's always more things to do. But there's not endless time, you know. Yeah. It's a crazy tournament. You go there and you just play, and everything you did before kind of doesn't matter, because this tournament is one single dimension itself. You play this tournament and the whole picks and everything, the whole game changes throughout the tournament. It happened again. There's gonna be some static heroes people want to rely to. The only thing I'm afraid of is that this TI will be again about Batrider and Wisp, because these two heroes, they're just, the concept is just broken, and you see them coming back slowly again, and it's gonna hit the point where we will see Wisp and Batrider again. And if I see these two heroes in the bans twice and 2 TIs, it's sad. Yeah, I don't think we want this. This is one option. The other option I'm a little bit scared of. I'm not scared of, but I would be sad if it happens. Yeah. Eventually, as a player, I don't care, but I would imagine as a spectator it sucks. That actually the TI2 meta might come again. this is what I first thought, that TI2 and TI4 will be similar, but actually it got cut off by the patch. Very, like, Necro got nerfed, Lycon got nerfed, everything got nerfed suddenly. Everything that made this go through this way just got cut off. So I think they realized what's happening and they just, you know, they just stopped it. They didn't want another TI2. The problem is that there's certain heroes in Dota which are, like I said, just the idea of the hero itself is broken because he can do too much shit, like Wisp and Batrider. And you see them coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Always. Batrider has been pretty much a permaban, the first pick for 2 years now.
Zero is too good. Zero is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this. When you play some online game and you're like, you know, let's give them Batrider and like we do this in exchange, you can win them because you have some cool ideas with Naga Sleep and stuff. But trust me, man, then you sit there in this stupid booth and you play for some stupid $2 million. You give him Batrider and it's like you're fucking afraid of the stupid Batrider because you're like, he's not on the map, right?
Yeah.
You know, shit, like what is he gonna do? You know, is he farming right now? It's like, if he's farming right now, okay, I can show myself. Or is he like, maybe he's hiding, you know, maybe he wanna jump me and I can't show myself. But if I don't show myself and he's farming, I'm losing the game already because this is how Dota works, right? One thing happens and the other thing happens at the same time. So you're like, you go crazy on your mind. It was TI3 final, everything was about the stupid Batrider and Wisp every time, you know. Because these heroes, they just rape your mind. Your Wisp was like, oh, he's gonna come at some point, you know, and do his shit, and there was nothing you can do. So it's too stressful, and I will tell you, if Batrider will be like this, nobody will dare to give him away in any TI final. Nobody will, because it's too crazy hero.
Well, both you and Lions gave Wisp away at the finals.
Well, we had to because the only chance we had in the TI final was against the Lions. Like, we lost the winner bracket finals. Like, Papi and I were talking. How can we win against the Lions winner brackets? And we were like, let's do some crazy, funny things, you know? Like Navi, some Scribe of Mage and stuff. Fucking failed. He got off by Alliance. They were just doing this to us, you know? And we were like, shit, man. Like, we have one more day. And it's like, okay, first we have to beat Orange and shit. That's another story. Went through Orange. Barely went through Orange. And then we went there again against the Lions. And then we were sitting in this player lounge thing, the room they gave us. They were like, yeah, you know, final soon, come there, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're sitting there, you know, Papi and I were sitting there, and we're like, well, what should we do, man? It's like, we're like, you know, we have to change the game from within. We have to change the game from within. We have to change everything. We have to start banning some stupid Nagas and whatever, and leave everything in the pool, because this is the only chance we have to win a game. That's what we thought, because Alliance and TI3, they were untouchable. They were just untouchable. They had the best TI run out of any team, actually.
Yeah.
And given that the competition was very hard, and it's going to be even harder this year, and it was very hard last year already. So we were like, we have to, like, you know, take this Dota game, like, you know, shake it a bit, you know, do this, and put it back there again, and then play the game. This is the grand final we want to play. And it actually worked out. Yeah. It actually worked out. That was the funny thing. And, well, yeah, nothing more to say.
That's a testament of sometimes you have to think outside the box. And just prove everyone wrong. So yeah, what you guys did, even though you didn't get to win it was like a great run.
Yeah, well, the thing is like this, we weren't the best team on TI. Alliance was the best team without a doubt, but we were actually winning the grand final at some point.
Yeah.
I dare to even say that Orange was better than Navi, and I think actually we were like, the thing in competition is a weird thing. You don't have to be the best to win. That's the thing. You don't have to be the best to win. You just have to win. Winning itself is one complex. You know, being the best in Dota and shit, all this shit doesn't fucking matter. But winning, just, you know, just focus your mind on winning. You're like, how can I win this situation? And like, how can I manipulate the situation in my favor? That's the question. This is what Clement and I do every time. And it kind of works, you know. Like, people know already that we slacked off a lot in our times, but we still want tournaments.
Yeah.
Our only way is always to, like, you know, try to win. Like, it's not even Dota related, just, you know, just try to win. We look at our opponent team and just try to break their spirit, you know. We want to, like, this is what we did to Alliance in the TI finals, because I can tell you they were shaking at some point. because we just, just confused them too much. We just broke their spirit, we just took the spirit, just fucking do this.
Yeah.
We didn't think about Dota or anything, we just thought about how can we like break their spirit. This is what we do every time. Then we played some D2CL some month ago against C9, and C9 is really, really good, and they're like better than us right now. But we still won the tournament because they choked. Why did they choke, right? Because we took their spirit, and then we just fucking did this again. It works.
Would you think that's the strength of Navi?
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is the biggest strength we have, I think. But nowadays it's hard to pull off because teams have become very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And they can see through it, kind of. Because can't do the same thing all the time, But in the end, it's like time will show how the results will be for the tournaments. Yeah. So we will try our ways. Everyone will try their ways. Let's see which way is the best, right?
Is TI4 much higher level than TI3 in terms of the teams there?
Yeah, of course. It's out of question, actually. I mean, what you can say is, teams right now, everyone is good. Just there's no question. Everyone is better. Everyone is crazy about the game. In TI3, the only Alliance was one level above every team. We saw it in every game. So you can always praise them for that. And that's it, The Alliance in TI3 we will probably never see this kind of thing again. Or maybe we will, right?
Yeah.
But it was crazy anyway. It was crazy. But the level of competition itself is higher now. It's out of question. It's higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you can choose not to answer this question. So you can, pass. Let's say Navi didn't exist and you didn't play competitive Dota.
Yeah.
Outside of Navi, because Navi isn't there, right? Would you cheer for any team in particular?
What if I wouldn't play Dota?
If let's say you retire, or let's say 6 months ago, Navi took a break for a year or something, and they're not playing TI4, right? And you're gonna play later, and they're gonna go back, and everything's gonna be okay. It doesn't matter. But you're for 6 months, chilling, just taking your time. You're not playing any other. You come into this TI, all these teams are invited except Navi because Navi is taking a break. Is there a team that you cheer for? You say, oh, this is a cool team. This is a team I like personally.
Well,
you can choose not to answer this one if you want.
It's a pretty easy answer because right now every team how I perceive them is different because I know them personally. I know the players. I know who No Tail is. I like this dude. I know who Trixie is. I like this dude. I like all of Fnatic guys,
Right.
Then go to the next team. Go to EG. They're new guys. I got to know them and started, but I already like these guys.
Right.
I see they play good Dota. Take any European team. I like everyone right now because all these fucking assholes, they're retired. They're not there anymore.
That's true.
All assholes went away, and there's only cool guys.
Or they became nicer.
So every team I met is cool. Every Chinese team I spoke to, very cool guys. I'm friends with RTK, Ice. I like Mushi. I like all of them. So naturally, I can't take a favorite. I can only take a favorite in terms of playstyle, but I have to differentiate it. I can't emotionally support one team because I'm already, equally. I equally like them actually as persons. So if I have to look at the playstyle and take a favorite. But I can only do that during TI because I will see the true color of the team during TI. So I can't answer right now.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, it's a good thing. As you said, a while ago, Dota 1 times, there were quite a few assholes in the scene. And, or so it was perceived, even people perceive that, some people had reputations.
Yeah.
But yeah, people change as well.
Of course.
Yeah. Even you and Loda have a bit of a reputation yourselves, and it's completely the opposite right now, I would say.
I don't know. It's I flamed when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I was fucking, when I'm 16 years old and I play with some Loda and Melks who are 5-6 years older, they're grown up adults and I'm 16 years old and they start flaming me, and they're adults, right? And I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Just think about that. Just let that sink in, that this adult is coming to some teenage guy and he flames him through internet, and the fuck I can do, right? I'm some teenager. I will flame naturally, but they're grown-ups. Think about that. Just let that sink in. Who's the asshole?
Yeah.
Just let that sink in, And that's all I can say. I don't. After that, I never really flamed. I mean, of course I do some aggressive comments from time to time, but nothing serious or dangerous. You know.
No, I think in that regard, I mean, like you were talking about how you know a lot of teams, and maybe I know more
it's
from
like
the
you
European.
You have to like look at it objectively. Like, what is flaming, man? Like, you know, some dude is 17 years old and he flames. Fuck it, you know, he's 17 years old.
Yeah. Well, that's like what happens with Arteezy a bit, right? Like, in terms of like he's young and he's going through a stage where like a lot of people are saying like he's really, 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 really good. So it's completely understandable that sometimes you flame. It's fine.
Well, it's a
lot to sink in. Like,
it's like Arteezy he has a tough case because he's becoming very famous very quickly, and he's currently in a scene where there's a lot of money. Yeah. He's young on top of that, and he's a very good Dota player. Yeah. Very, very good Dota player. So there's whatever happens to him, I can never blame him. Because I know he's going through a lot of shit right now. Because I went through similar shit. Just it was actually smaller in my case. Yeah. Well, actually, it was smaller. There was no money. You know, the scene was smaller. But I know exactly how he feels because I've been in the exact same position. I wasn't like him. Like I didn't tweet and I didn't stream. That was one. This is his thing, you know. But let him do his thing, you know, because he's just a guy like you and me and everyone, you know. He's just everyone has to cope with his fucking life. We all go through fucking problems, you know. He copes this way with his fucking life, and I do this way, and you do this way. Yeah, fuck it, you know. He's not harming anyone. Yeah. He's a really cool dude, actually. If you talk to him, very nice guy. And, you know, fuck it, man. Yeah, and at the end of the day, people appreciate him for what he does in the game. Yeah, right? That's what we gotta do, right? Yeah. I mean, he's gonna understand how he has to present himself in the public eventually. But it's gonna take a natural progression for him anyway. And he has time. Like every pro player went through this, or was going through this. One dude realizes quicker than the other how he has to, like, you know, act professional. Because this is what people want, and this is what esports is becoming, right? When things get bigger, you actually have to be a true professional in the end. Right now, you can't really expect that everything is professional because everything right now is in kindergarten shoes. Yeah. Still, even though we have a 6 million tournament, it's still kindergarten shoes. Yeah. I mean, everything around it, how everything is broken in the scene. The esports scene is very weak. I mean, money is moving very badly. A lot of people try to exploit stuff left and right. But guys, this is not a topic for you. No. This is a topic for us later, my slave. Yes. We'll talk about that later. But I do agree. And we talked about that. Like, we talked in the past with James, even on stream, how the distribution of money in esports could be done better. But let's leave it at that. That's the thing, and it's actually good. I think this is quite eye-opening for people that for some reason were watching at 4 a.m. in the morning us talking about that. But it's like I think if you never heard like much about how esports work and you listen to or Dota too or Dota in general and you listen to the last hour, you get like a good idea of how things were in the past and how everything grew up and so fast as well. Yeah, because it's really fast. Like, it's very fast. You were playing MYM Pride. Yeah, man. What did you win if you won MYM Pride? I actually won. I know that you won. And I got second place in one with World Eaters. Oh, I forgot us to talk about that. Yeah. I was only talking about Dota League, but I played actually against Team Dota XXX. It was Smile. What was this dude called? Smile was there. Dota Laka, Focus Ire. Man, this is like names. Crazy names. Admiral, Admir was his name. Admire. He played against Pro and one more dude. We lost the finals, but I won one crazy mouse pad. You know, I got it 7 months later, and I was waiting for it. You know, and I kept it for like 6 years or something. Nice. It was like, you know, friends went to my room and they saw my mouse pad and it looked like shit, man. You know, some life was starting in this fucking thing already because it was so dirty and shit. It was so fucking shit. I was like, dude, just, you know, and I have like some more mouse pads. I already won some more mouse pads, you know, lying around. You're like, dude, why don't you take this shit? I'm like, no, I want this one, man. Yeah. Good mousepad, man.
Yeah.
Did a good job.
Paid off. Do you think you're more nerd? Like, let's go back to like that time, like MIM Pride, like your first tournament, even when you started winning.
Let's talk about that in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a break.
Sure. We'll take a break. And after that, we'll talk about blah blah blah. I'm gonna get some water. Do you want some water?
Oh, sure.
I have to.
Slave. Get to work.
Hey, man.
Hey. So deep, man.